If you're in low ticket, if you're in coaching, if you're in service-based work, anything like restaurants, bartenders, waiters, trades, and also hourly paid jobs, people that work in malls, grocery stores, gas stations, like everywhere, all of these people are being pinched. And what's sad about it is that they're not looking for answers. They're not looking for solutions. A lot of these individuals are just hoping and looking towards the government as the election's coming up. They're like, which president's going to save us? And they're not taking personal responsibility, which is exactly what you really need to do right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Diamond Life Mentor Podcast with your host, Balazs W Kardos. This is episode number 75. Can you believe it? Just feels like we got started yesterday and we're already at episode 75. And I'm super excited to get into this topic today because there's been a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of shock circulating the network marketing industry as of late, the last month or so. And there's a lot happening in the economy, especially in the US. It's an election year. And a lot of things are changing, right? The business landscape is changing. And I wanted to talk to you guys, and hopefully this is an episode that you can share on social media or with your friends who happen to be in network marketing or had previously been a part of network marketing companies in the past. And I'm talking about primarily low ticket, low cost products, recurring products, beauty, skincare, health and wellness products like shakes, vitamins, and those kinds of things. But I believe that the low ticket network marketing space is under serious attack, and it's also becoming more and more difficult for these companies to stay profitable, right? The margins are too low. They have to bring in outside investors to keep the company afloat, to pay commissions, to pay bonuses. And the buyer landscape, the buyer behavior, generally speaking, is shifting dramatically because of what's happened since COVID the last 3, 4, 5 years regarding inflation, cost of living. People can't afford expensive auto ships for products. And so they're shifting to things like Amazon, right? It's becoming easier and easier and easier to get good, high quality products on something such as Amazon or other similar online options where they even provide you an auto ship function. They give you a discount if you reorder. You can set it for a different frequency, right? It could be monthly, it could be every couple months, it could be every few months. You get to really dictate that. Comes right to your door. It's simple. And if you're not really looking at the business opportunity end of things and just wanting to be a customer, it's becoming a lot more of a normal way of doing it, as opposed to previously low ticket network marketing was the way that people did that. So I want to talk a little bit about this today, and I want to reassure those of you that would like to be in a leveraged business model that high ticket network marketing is the solution and it's the future. And right now, we have a huge obligation and responsibility and duty to be kind of screaming this from the rooftops and giving people an opportunity to be proactive and preventative and to start making the necessary decisions and choices to protect their income, to protect their lifestyle, to protect their families from what's happened recently with a number of companies that literally announced as a shock, as a surprise to its distributors that they are switching away from a network marketing business model, which really means that you get paid off of the sales of a sales organization, multiple levels down, get a little percentages of building a large team, which can add up to significant income, right? 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. In some cases, some top leaders in certain companies are making 50,000, 100,000, $250,000, all the way up to $1 million per month passively from having a massive customer base reordering these products each and every month. And imagine if that was you, or it might even be you listening right now, and your life is beautiful. You get to spend every day with your kids and your spouse and travel and really live that freedom lifestyle that you work so hard to create, and you get an email in your inbox that says that the company that has provided for your family has decided to go in a different direction and change its business model and its compensation structure to only pay on affiliate sales, meaning your direct customers, not anyone else's customers. That would literally be the worst thing ever. Heartbreaking, devastating, shocking, your entire world essentially being flipped upside down with a very limited amount of time before this all goes away. And the most recent example was a company that's over 20 years old. They are one of the leaders in the space, and they decided that this all goes away September 1st. So they gave their distributors about 2.5 months, and then it's gone. So that's literally like the timeline for a lot of these individuals to start making moves, looking at what other options there might be out there in the marketplace. And that's why I wanted to do this episode, because potentially you know someone who is affected, or you know someone in a similar company where there's a high likelihood that the dominoes are falling, and that the last few companies in the last couple of, it's been like a month, and I think 3 companies or 4 companies have done a very similar shift from multi-level network marketing business model into the affiliate space, that the writing's on the wall, right? And I wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that people should be looking into, and what the risks are, and what the solution is, which my company, I believe, is the best solution. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but I have looked at other options also, trying to find something and seeing if there's anything remotely close or competitive or has the same overall benefits across the board. Like, there's many different categories of evaluating a great company, great set of products, a great business model, great compensation, the leadership, how long the company's been in business. And there's a lot of factors to consider. And in my, 15 years of experience in this industry, I've never seen anything, and quite a few opportunities have come across my desk. People have recommended it, or told me to add something different, or possibly even offered me to switch from what I'm doing. And I've never even gotten close to considering it, because it's just not comparable. So I had a few notes here I wanted to talk about, but the biggest thing that we need to look at is the math, right? Any business, for it to be sustainable and be able to thrive, the cost of doing business is the first place you got to start. Like, how much are the products retail? How much are they wholesale? Who's being paid? How much? What does the percentage of the compensation look like in terms of levels? And if the math isn't mathing, like these companies recently that have switched, then it is kind of insane to pretend that everything's going to be okay in another company that has a very similar business setup, same sort of numbers, same sort of profit margins, same sort of commission structure. Does that make sense? So if it's happening over here, don't be in denial and say, oh, well, it will never happen to us for whatever reason, because the chances of it happening are increasing. Once again, this is not meant to create fear. It's not meant to say this is for sure going to happen to every company that's a low ticket item. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that it would be irresponsible to not consider that the risk of it happening is starting to increase rapidly, right? The odds are going against people in low ticket network marketing companies that have just not enough margin based on the current landscape of the cost of doing business. So that's the first thing. The other side of it too is the company or the product truly unique? Right? Because what has happened in the influencer social media era of business is that if you pay attention to some of the top people in the world that have the largest social media followings, they are all launching skincare, beauty lines, alcohol brands, all kinds of things. And they're pretty much all building it around their personal brands because they have such a large social following that the buyers are shifting to rather buy it from like a Kardashian or something, as opposed to this old company that doesn't have as much money, they don't have as sexy marketing, they don't have as nice of a social presence, and they don't have the clout, they don't have the status, they don't have this whole effect on people like, oh, I have this skincare from so-and-so influencer that makes me feel cool, rather than this old established business that has been doing the network marketing model for so long. It's just simply no longer the appeal, especially on the customer side. On the business side, that's different. But most of these companies have 80%, 90% customers, repeat customers, and only 10, 15% of them are actually business builders, distributors, etc. So once again, the risk is starting to increase more and more because the customers are what keep the business moving, right? The other thing you have to think about too is, where is the company based? Okay, where's their headquarters? Where were they founded? Where was their first location that really got the business off the ground? Now, the reason why this matters is, as you can see, America, Canada, even places like Australia and some parts of Europe, they're starting to become a little bit more unpredictable, unstable, right? The economy, the governments, their policies around COVID and how they handled situations. They shut stuff down. They are cracking down on lots of different things with new policies. When the president gets reelected, or possibly a new president gets elected, those policies can shift and change. And so there's a lot of higher risk with North American-based network marketing companies as well. Now, the other thing that you want to keep looking at is the inflation aspect of it, right? If your company is in a low ticket space and the cost of you having inventory is going up, then if someone's paying $30 or $40 or $50 a month for certain products, and you announce that it's now going to go up in 10, 20, 30% in cost, that's just not going to work, because if they turn around and find it on Instagram or social media or Amazon or wherever, they'll just quickly do a comparison. They're like, this is pretty much the same product. It's white labeled, and the company isn't even responsible for anything unique, patented, science backed, etc., etc. So it's kind of crazy if you think about it. So the number of individuals that you need to put food on the table in your organization is just unreasonable, even on the business side, right? People are working longer and more hours than ever before because they're having a hard time keeping up with inflation, paying their bills. Food is going through the roof. There's just so much stuff going on that people have less and less time to build a side hustle business. So if you don't have technology, if you don't have automation, if you don't have enough of a margin to run paid advertising to acquire new customers, and you have to do it old school or organically with your time and your energy, that's how most low ticket network marketing companies have to do it. Because if you run ads, for example, you know, the cost of doing business with social media and paid advertising has also gone up. Everything has gone up, including that. So now you're spending $100, $200 in ads to acquire a $30 customer to get a $10 commission. You're upside down, right? That's not ever going to lead you to a profitable business on the front end. And then in order for you to make your money on the back end, those same people have to stay on auto ship for like 12 months, 18 months for you to finally make money off of one person. Now, the average person in low ticket is only on a product or an auto ship for 90 days. And that's actually starting to change, because if someone buys these products primarily because they're interested in referring other customers and having a little side business, and in those first couple of months, they're not getting customers, the first thing that they're going to cut out from their monthly expenses a lot of the time is this expensive low ticket network marketing product compared to something very similar available online through something like Amazon. All right. So the whole reason I'm sharing this is because I truly believe that Enagic and what we're doing with the combination of online marketing, online business, and the profit margins that come with acquiring a single customer is the solution to a lot of people's problems. It's the solution on the product side, because we actually have patented products that are unique that other people can't rip off. We control the manufacturing in-house. We're an original equipment manufacturer. So we have no outside investors. We have no outside manufacturing. We make all of the parts in-house and we control the entire process. So that actually reduces the risk massively. It removes almost all risk because as long as they keep their operation tight and they know their numbers and they know their margins, no one can jack up the prices on them, if that makes sense. Like if you're producing your own materials that goes in, you're buying everything at cost. There's no middleman who can just decide, hey, we're jacking up the price on you, and then that throws everything off in their margins. And that's why Enagic actually recently did do an increase in their prices for the first time in 20 years because they had to make sure that those numbers from top to bottom continue to maintain a certain percentage point. But because the customer base, global economy, and so on is used to everything going up in price in the last 3-4 years, the price that they went up, I believe, was like 12% or something like that. So it was very reasonable compared to everything else that's gone up 50%, 100%, and so on. So 12% was actually not that much, but that's what they needed to do to adjust and stay profitable as a company that is debt-free and 50 years old. Now, the other massive part around this is that over those last 50 years, they've built a global infrastructure. And what this really means to people like you and I is that they have their parent company, which is in Japan, where the company was founded in Okinawa in 1974. And that parent company, that umbrella company, then went and started new separate businesses with new legal paperwork and all of that officially in all of these different jurisdictions and all of these different countries. And so each of them operates independently, but they're tied in this umbrella of different corporation in a corporate structure. So when you think about international expansion or taking a traditional business that is set up, corporation or LLC, for example, in North America, and you decided that you wanted to open for business in Europe, let's say. Well, now you have to go through all of the setup, the legal, the paperwork, the approvals, the different regulations, and all of that stuff varies and it's different from country to country. What is acceptable, what you can sell, how you can sell it, the amount of tax you need to charge. It's pretty complex. But because Enagic is 50 years old and they've already set this up in 43 different countries, right? Like I think it's in 23 countries and 43 locations. What that allows us to do as a high-ticket business owner with global distribution rights for Enagic is that if things get weird, if the government or the policies or pandemic-related rules, regulations, weird stuff that happened like in 2020, 2021, if that changes, right, and you don't like it, you can literally just relocate to any other part of the world that has a location and a corporate structure set up through Enagic, and for $50, transfer your business and say, I now live in this country. I now set my residency up here. I'm a tax resident of this place and so on. And for $50, you don't even lose a moment of risk to your business. Now think about how powerful and how important something like that actually is in 2024 when there's so much uncertainty, there's so much unpredictability, right? Countries that used to be so rock solid, there's a level of like, maybe not. Maybe there might be war. Maybe there might be civil unrest. Maybe there might be some hardcore policy changes or something like this that the people do not accept or they don't want. Now, if your roots are really deeply grounded in the country that you live in with your job, with your home, with your everything, it's so much harder to make that decision to get up and leave, right? My parents literally went through this when I was like a few years old. In Hungary, they had to risk everything to leave from Hungary to Canada with 2 suitcases, couldn't speak English, had no money, and no business that came with them that was online or international, right? Literally had to start from scratch. But in this case, you can build those roots, build your business, grow that structure, have your customer base, and then if something weird goes on, get on a flight, pack your stuff, relocate, send an email to the company and say, this is now where I'm going to start doing business. They start paying you in that new currency to a new bank account. all like you can get it set up in a matter of a few days, maybe a week, depending on the legal paperwork or whatever. That's amazing. You know what I mean? So the company is debt free. This is another major reason why some of these other companies are going out of business, or they're shifting. It's almost like a step between bankruptcy, right? They're not quite fully going out of business because they're shifting to an affiliate model, but it's basically like one step removed where they're going to try one last act in their circus and be like, maybe this will work. And hopefully people stick around and keep buying those products or whatever. But if they don't, the next step is bankruptcy, game over, we're done. So what happens is as soon as the margins start to get pinched and they can't afford to pay commissions, they can't afford to pay their corporate staff, they can't afford to pay research and development and new products and the office space. So they have these massive, humongous offices like some of these old school low ticket network marketing companies. They got flashy offices. It's crazy. I've been to some of their, locations in the past and they're massive. Enagic keeps everything lean, right? They have small offices. They have limited staff. They do a lot of things with the cost of doing business in mind to keep things as low as possible. And the excess profit, they prefer to be generous and give that back to people like yourself and myself and all of us. So they're debt-free. And not only are they debt-free, but they made over $1 billion in sales just last year alone. And because they're paying this patented 8-point compensation plan, it's sustainable because the majority of the revenue is being paid to the person and a few people who are responsible for that initial direct sale, as opposed to the old way, the pyramid sort of structure where the people at the top get all of this kickback and it actually isn't sustainable. The 8-point compensation plan, which is unique and it's patented, is fair because the 8 points get paid right near the actual where the sale was taking place. Okay. They're debt free. They make their own original equipment manufacturing. They pay 54% commissions within the 8 points and another additional 16% paid out in monthly and quarterly bonuses, title incentives, and a few other ways that they pay. They pay a total of 9 ways. But that 16% is still allowing people to create that lifestyle of leveraged business and residual income and being paid a small percentage over a massive global business like I have built in the last 11 years, right? And the numbers that we are doing are bigger than a lot of massive mega corporations out there. Like just last quarter, in 3 months, we did 76 million USD in sales volume, right? As a team collectively. And out of that, like $50+ million was paid out with the 54% of the 8-point compensation plan and the 16% of the monthly and quarterly bonuses and title incentives. And not only that, they allow you to actually work towards a retirement legacy income plan that rewards you for years and years of effort and accumulation of a total number of sales that you've produced. So this is so different. It's so unique. It's so sustainable that everything literally rides on direct sales and the margins work, the business, the numbers work. And when this news came out, I think it was last week or so, corporate actually sent out an email. And the email was really beautiful and empowering because it came from Mr. Oshiro, the CEO, founder, and the CEO and founder of Enagic. And he said, this is something like, we are here about compassion. We're here about changing your life and true health. And we look forward to you continuing to build this for generations to come, right? And so my suggestion to you right now is if you are in a variety of different things, this is not just for low ticket network marketing, even though that's kind of the main focus of this episode, but it's also for hourly paid work, right? A more traditional 9-to-5 type of job. What's happening in the marketplace is that the majority of businesses that have staff, the numbers don't work. The same way it doesn't work in low ticket network marketing, it doesn't work for a lot of these other companies because their business model is not designed to accelerate the cost of goods as quickly as inflation is currently doing that to most businesses. And if you don't have an accelerated growth on revenue and sales that can keep up with the demand, you're simply not able to afford to have as many staff. And your staff are never going to have as much pay that they actually need to pay for the things that they want, right? You cannot expect your boss to keep giving you raises to match the cost of living increasing from inflation. Doesn't work. So what is the answer? What is the solution? I believe it's high ticket network marketing, because you can build it on the side. If you're in low ticket, if you're in coaching, if you're in service-based work, anything like restaurants, bartenders, waiters, trades, there's lots of different people that actually need this, and also hourly paid jobs, people that work in malls, grocery stores, gas stations, like everywhere. All of these people are being pinched. And what's sad about it is that they're not looking for answers. They're not looking for solutions. A lot of these individuals are just hoping and looking towards the government as the election's coming up. They're like, which president's going to save us? And they're not taking personal responsibility, which is exactly what you really need to do right now. And if you've had it great in whatever it is that you're doing for a period of time, maybe you've had some schooling around the thing that you're doing, or maybe you've done it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Do not bury your head in the sand and pretend it's going to be okay without having a plan B that's powerful, that's lucrative, that has leverage potential, where you can run ads to it and it's profitable, and you can actually lock arms with people in a powerful community who support you. They're like-minded. We have training, we have technology, we have software, we have so much stuff to actually guide people and help them become successful that literally wasn't even possible 2 years ago. And I'll give you an example. When someone gets started in network marketing or something around building a personal brand, it can be very scary to feel seen, right? Put your face out there, do videos such as the one I'm making right now, put it on YouTube. You don't know who's going to watch. You don't know if it's haters, family, coworkers, old friends, people that have some bad agenda or something. You don't know. And so it can definitely be intimidating and scary. But what we're doing now inside of our community for anybody who gets started with us is we're teaching them how to leverage things such as AI, right? ChatGPT, for example. And ChatGPT is like having a second brain, but that second brain is a professional. It's an expert. It's an expert at copywriting. It's an expert at marketing. It's an expert at creating graphics that you can use for ads. There's so many things available at your fingertips that literally wasn't available just 2 years ago. And I've been doing this for 11 years. So I've seen the evolution of how we do this business lots of times. It's changed quite a few times. So my suggestion is you can either sit back and wait for technology to keep speeding up and take your job, or to have your low ticket network marketing company shut down or switch to an affiliate model, or you can lean into it and go, listen, I got to prepare, right? I have to get ready now so that if something does change, you're not scrambling trying to learn the basics and get the foundation going, but you've already been developing your mindset. You've already been a part of a successful, amazing community. You've already been going through the training. You've already had trial and error experience. You've already been, generating some leads, generating some sales, and making progress. So if it happens sooner than later and the shit hits the fan, you're like, okay, let's double down on this thing that I've already been preparing for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or however long it is. So I believe that the world needs us more than ever. The world needs Enagic more than ever. They understand the magnitude of how badly people need health, wealth, freedom, peace of mind, being able to keep the family unit together under one roof, kids being raised by their mother and their father as opposed to some kind of broken home, or it feels like a broken home because one parent's always working. And in this economy, let's be honest, it's very, very tough to survive with a single income, right? Even if one parent is predominantly home, they're most likely hustling or have some kind of home-based business or online business, or they're trying to make money more than just sitting around and having one person in the household going and making a living, because you just can't really live very well anymore on one single income. That's facts. I just had a friend of mine named Justin, who I've known for like 14 years or something. He's seen me back in the day in the door-to-door days. He's seen me in a couple other low-ticket companies that I was a part of before Enagic. And we had a conversation. Now, I made a post on my personal Facebook. I think it was around the sales volume that we did right around the time of the global convention that I spoke at, and my last episode was kind of around that. Anyways, I made a post and he private messaged me something along the lines of, I should have listened to you all those years ago. Wow, the growth is incredible. Great job. And he kind of gave me some, compliment or whatever. And then I just replied back and I said, it's not too late, man. We have really cracked the code again on how we can build this business. And we had a call. And what was really shocking about this conversation, which some of you are going to be like completely shocked by this, is that he makes $500,000 a year right now. He runs ads for some companies. He's a media buyer. He's very talented. He understands marketing. A lot of the skills that are very powerful in what we do. So he's already got the skill set. He's just applying it as a service, as a contractor to another business who is profiting way more than they pay him. And he's like, I make $500,000 and I can't even afford to support my family, to travel, to have a home. They live in an apartment, a condo. And it was just eye-opening because in my head, $500,000 is quite a bit. But depending on what you want for your life, and he has 2 kids, they need activities in school and they want to enjoy their time. And he's working like a dog, so he doesn't even have his freedom and he doesn't even have his leverage. So after this call, he decided to get started and partner with me with a quad. And I'm so excited to work with this guy because I know he's going to crush it. He's dedicated. He's a great dad. He wants to give his family the best. And he's literally watched my journey from afar for over a decade. So for him to make this decision now is a rock solid decision. He has no fear, no hesitance, or no resistance or any of that stuff. But then when I talked to him, I was saying, look, man, how many people do you think out there in the world right now who are similar to you? They have powerful skills. Maybe they're really amazing at media buying and running ads for companies. Maybe they're amazing at content creation or photography, videography. Maybe they're a great speaker. Maybe they're have awesome sales skills and they worked in a straight commission environment selling cars or real estate or whatever, luxury goods, doesn't really matter. And they just haven't made that connection and that switch of, why am I doing this for another business, another company? Why don't I take this set of skills and set myself free with a business model that actually rewards me to build it for me, right? For my family, which is exactly how Enagic has been designed. They want to give the majority of the profits to us, where most regular normal companies that run traditional advertising, commercials, TV, radio, etc., what they're trying to do is pay their staff, their employees, their contractors, the least amount of money. They're going to spend a huge chunk of that on marketing and advertising so the shareholders and the owner of that company can profit the majority. Okay? So this is why it's so crazy to me that there's this negative stigma out there still to this day around network marketing where, oh, the people at the top make all the money. What they're actually describing is the traditional business world. The traditional business world, that's who keeps all of the money at the top. The CEO, the shareholders, the executives, they keep the majority of the money. And in reality and in truth, Enagic keeps the least amount of money themselves. Mr. Oshiro has the smallest profit margin for himself. And people make fun of this and say that this is where the people at the top, and it's like they're so confused because the independent factor of being an independent distributor means that anybody can come in, right, on day one and create their own success and create their own income and create the own size of the organization. And if you think small, you can create small results. If you think big, you can create big results. If you think massive, if you think global, if you think in terms of decades instead of months or years, then you can literally create what I have created, and I'm still just getting started because the compounding effect now is really starting to take shape. We're literally going to be doubling like every year instead of every 2-3 years. It's accelerating, it's speeding up. And with these things that are happening in the marketplace, with the economy, with inflation, with low ticket companies literally crumbling and switching to an affiliate model. There's more and more and more signs that we will prosper. And the original intention and mission that I had all those years back of a global prosperity movement, it's like things are actually shaping up to make this more and more of an obvious choice for people to partner with us, to lock arms with us, and to create their destinies with legacy and freedom in mind, while also making a positive impact and a difference in people's lives. And I think that that's so amazing and so beautiful. So if you're listening to this message and somebody shared this with you, and you're a little bit scared or worried or wondering, will it happen to me? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But why not take a look at what we're doing, right? Why not actually watch a web class, watch a training, sign up, have a meeting, have a Zoom, reach out to me, whatever you got to do, and just find out, is this a good plan B? Is this something that you could have on the back burner where you spend a couple hours a day going through training that we've already set up, super affordable, go through, develop these skills, and protect yourself? Because once you have the right mindset and once you have the right skill set and you build a personal brand, which is essentially an extension of who you are going to be more protected, you're going to be more safe, and there's going to be less risk for your family to be affected negatively by losing your income or losing your house or losing your livelihood or those things that, especially as a man, as a protector, as a provider of my family, is the scariest thing ever, right? To be in that situation. So it's up to us to essentially be proactive and prevent this from happening by partnering with a company that has all the boxes checked of low risk, pretty much the least amount of risk that you could have in this industry. They are an original equipment manufacturer. They have 100% control. They have patents on the products. They have patents on the business, which the main reason why that's important is because it makes it unique. So you can't white label it and outsource it easily and just sell it on Amazon and basically be taken out at the knees like these skincare companies and health and wellness companies and all these influencer pop-up businesses that are happening every single day. That stuff's super high risk and it's super scary. And then there's like the startup side, right? The latest and greatest CBD drink, blah, blah, blah. And it's all the new stuff coming out. And those are even more risky in a unstable economy with high inflation and a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. A startup is the last thing that you want to touch. Or if your low ticket gets shut down and then you try to swing your downline into another similar low ticket company, like, did you not learn your lesson? Like, anybody who does that is like, hello, shake yourself awake. Why would you literally just not learn your lesson and take people from a low ticket thing over here and then pump them into a new startup thing over here? What do you think, the writing on the wall is going to be different? Like, you're just going to get a magical different outcome? Of course not, right? You have a legacy income opportunity. It's willable to your family and your children. You can put this income anywhere internationally into different jurisdictions. You can put it into a trust or a foundation. You can protect yourself, right? And we just celebrated 50 years of business in Okinawa, Japan in June. This is the diamond decade. Momentum is growing. We have more tools, more technology, more ways of serving humanity than ever before. And now is the perfect opportunity for yourself and anybody that you know to lock arms with us, to come over, to have an honest look, and at least be curious, right? Nothing is worse than being ignorant and to judge something that you don't understand. That's the biggest mistake someone can make. I'm not saying it's going to be the right fit for you. I'm not saying it's going to be the perfect solution for everybody. But what I am saying is, like, you got to really take a look at this thing and try to pick it apart. Really go deep. Go deep into the science. Go deep into the leadership. Go deep into the company, right? Go deep on everything if you have to, if that's what you need to do. But if you have this deeper sense that something such as Enagic exists out there in the world and that you are meant for greatness, you are meant for wealth, that you know that you're supposed to be the first millionaire that comes from your family, from your lineage, from your ancestry, then this is it. That's why you're listening to this podcast. That's why you had that intuition to click on it when somebody shared it on their social media or sent it to you in an email or sent it to you on social media in your direct messages. And you had that intuition like, man, I really got to listen to this. This is why. Because deep down, God, universe, whatever you believe in, is guiding you to this, is guiding you to me. It's guiding you to all of us. And it's guiding you to what you're truly capable of creating in this life. And now is the time to take action. And the first step is to just take a look at it so you have all the facts, all the information, and then make an informed, educated decision. If it's a yes, fantastic. If it's a no, thank you, or not right now, all good. Wish you the best. But please don't be one of these people who judges it, who assumes it is this or that, or reads some sort of like hit piece on, news and media trying to discredit us or try to talk shit about us. That's fucking bullshit. That's the facts. That's straight bullshit. Do not listen to these people who are jealous, who are envious, who don't understand, and they're trying to frame things in a way that's actually not even remotely close to the truth. Don't be that person, right? Maybe your friend chirped in your ear and said, oh, it's one of those things. It's one of these things. Don't listen to these people, right? Find out for yourself. Have an open mind. Put all of your assumptions off to the side and just go, all right, let me take a look. Even if it takes you 3 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours of research, due diligence, right? Digging into stuff, I promise you it's worth it, because I'm confident that when you're done doing all your digging, what you're going to find is going to be like, wow, this is actually the real deal. And someone like me who's been with this company for 16 years, building it for 11, I mean, there's literally nothing else like it, right? And we have a saying in our community that says all roads lead back to Enagic. And the reason we have this saying is because over the course of the last 11 years, even 16 years, I have seen people come from every different walk of life, try every single different type of business, coaching, low ticket, high ticket, Forex, crypto, the latest and greatest, fancy thing on the internet. They all come back eventually to Enagic. Why? It's the only one that stayed true, loyal, honest, with integrity, pays on time, has never done anybody wrong, is just chugging along, having a bigger market share, bigger market penetration. The world, the consciousness and awareness is raising. Hydrogen-rich electrolytes reduced water is becoming more and more well-known, right? There's more cancer, diabetes, all these things out there. People are being affected, obesity, illnesses, EMF radiation, right, from Wi-Fi and technology, which Enagic just released a brand new patented product called MGuard that also solves that problem. They have mineral-rich ion bath water that solves a major need around showering and bathing, like in the hot springs. They have organic turmeric products. This company has dialed it in, right? Earth, water, wind, air. Like, they got it all, man. Seriously, it's so special. They're incredibly generous. They pay beautiful, more than you would ever need to live your dreams. And when the people who you sell these products to experience the products, they actually use the products, they drink the water, they utilize all the different uses of this product, they become raving lifelong fans. Think about that. Like, my community loves this company, loves this product, and I sleep with a smile on my face knowing that I had a bit of an impact, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, depending on who's who. But in 100 countries, over 300,000 of these products have been sold. And the only people that might be upset are the people that literally didn't use the product the way they should have. They sold it, they got pissed off, or they did something silly. But everybody else lives with it, drinks it, swears by it, loves it. And that's a really beautiful feeling to be a part of a company that does that. And water is never going to go out of style, guys. Think about it. When is water all of a sudden going to be irrelevant? Never, right? When is people's health and wellness ever going to not matter? Never. What about freedom? Do you think there's going to be a time where people go, I don't want freedom anymore. I don't want to be able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. I want to be told what to do. I want to be stuck in a room and stuck in a cage and stuck in a 9-to-5 and not be able to travel, not be able to have fun. Do you think that's ever going to be popular? No more freedom. No more freedom. Nope, never. When do you think money is not going to be relevant to provide for your family? There's going to always be a level of currency exchange one way or another between human beings, right? Trading goods, services, things that people require. So my point is that this company is not at risk at all of going out of style or not being the flavor of the month or not the new thing or whatever. It's sustainable, rock solid. I need to have a drink of this amazing 9.5. But I'm just so honored. I'm so grateful. I definitely feel bad, and my heart goes out to these people that are in low ticket, that are being negatively affected and losing their livelihoods and their passive income and their teams and a company they believe in just kind of turning their backs to their distributors. Heartbreaking. I'm not saying it isn't. What I am saying is that if it hasn't happened to you yet, and you're in that situation where the likelihood of you being laid off at your job, the risk is going up. In a low ticket environment, low ticket company, the risk is going up. If you see the writing on the wall, then why not make a change? Why not look into this? And if you're listening to this podcast, the very least that you could do is actually take a look, right? Take a look. Get back to the person that shared this episode with you, whether it was directly or indirectly on social media, email, wherever, however you came across it. Get back to the person that went out of their way to try to help you, to fire off the warning alarm, ring the bell, and basically offer to help you, to be there for you, to support you, to guide you. I think that person really you owe them a thank you, because if you just take a look and you just take the next step, literally that person might be the person that changed your entire world, your entire life. And that's truly remarkable. So hope you enjoyed this episode. I didn't mean to cause fear or panic or any of that stuff. I just really hope that this message landed for you. You kind of give yourself a little head nod and go, okay, I'll listen to this guy. I'll take a look, I'll investigate, I'll dig deep, and I'll try to find something wrong with it. I'll try to basically prove myself wrong, that this isn't something I should do. And my bet is that you will be proven wrong, and you will find how beautiful this opportunity is, this company is, these products are. And most importantly, our community, our tribe, our training, our tech, our resources is second to none. We're literally world-class. And you also are happening to join the number one team in the company. If you partner with myself and my team, we're literally the fastest growing in the entire company globally. And so there's a little extra bonus as well. But even if not, joining Enagic as a whole is absolutely the best life-changing decision that you can make. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that nothing sad or traumatic or shocking like what is going on in these low-ticket companies ever happens to you. And it's up to you now what you decide to do to prevent that from happening. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you again soon on the next episode. Take care for now. Bye-bye.